All right, here we are, Hendrick Motorsports, sitting down with the man himself, Mr. Rick Hendrick, and I have to ask you, sir, heading into a new season, there were a lot of changes here last offseason, not so much this offseason. As an owner, it seems to me one of the toughest things to do in sport is to know when to make changes and when to kind of not make changes and let things ride. How do you kind of figure that out?
You know, last year I felt like we just needed to do something. We were kind of flat, and the changes that we made turned out to be really good ones. When I look at what happened with the 24 car, you know, Alan and Jeff really gelled, and they had a great year. They didn't finish like they wanted to, but still, for the success they had was really good. And then we had the same thing when we moved Stevie and Dale Jr. So when you come back and those guys are getting stronger, and Jimmy's hungry to go back and get the championship again. Yeah. And then you look at Casey and Kenny and how they ran in the chase. So, you know, this to me is the best lineup we've had across the board. I don't know that we've ever had four this solid, and we should all be in the chase, and we should win the championship. So I think this year we made the adjustments last year, and we knew Kenny and was coming, you know, with Casey, and so plugging them in, our guys respect Kenny Francis and they like Casey, and so we plugged those guys in. It's been like they've been here forever, and so I'm excited about the year. I think this will be a great year for us.
It's almost like you laid the foundation last year, and now you can kind of reap the rewards.
That's exactly right. I think last year when you make a change like that, you don't know, and it can work or it can go backwards, but it worked all the way around. And you know, Mark had a lame duck year. I mean, he knew he was leaving.
Yep.
And now Lance has taken Chase Elliott, and so I'm excited about that young kid. And you know, I just feel like we're not going to have any surprises, and we're not going to get, you know, 6 races into the year or 7
and go right.
This guy can't get along with that guy.
Right.
So you know, we're excited.
You know, it's interesting you talk about knowing that Kenny Francis was coming over. If you look at all the crew chief changes this season, you've got guys who were with Ford coming to Chevy, guys who were with Toyota going to Ford. I mean, it just seems like there's all these crew chiefs who are changing manufacturers when they change teams. Does that mean that the information sharing is sort of going to level the playing field at the beginning, or is it not really a factor as far as you can tell?
You know, that these cars are so close, and everybody pretty much knows what everybody has. I mean, it's, you know, we're in a box that's so tight. It comes down to the people, the driver and the crew chief, and their chemistry and combination, and getting the driver comfortable, and him having faith in the crew chief having faith in the driver, and working that chemistry that when they start clicking and he knows what he wants, he knows how to make the adjustment in the race, and everybody's comfortable. I think what we have going into this year is the addition to Kenny Francis and Casey Kane. We may see a different type of setup than we've seen before, but I'm sure we will learn from them, and they will learn from us, so we should be better all the way around. And I think when you got guys like when Borja goes to a Toyota, he'll have some ideas that'll help those guys, and so I think it's good, but there's so many smart people in this garage area.
Yeah.
It comes down to chemistry. I mean, it really. I mean, I can't tell you what happened to Tony Stewart. I mean, he runs.
What did happen?
I don't know that he could.
I like that bill.
You get into the chase, and all of a sudden, here's a guy that struggles to make the chase, and he wins half the races in the chase. So
struggled so much that he made a decision to change his crew chief, right?
Yeah, and but you know, there again, it's. I think on any given day, you legitimately have 30 guys out there can win the race, and I've never seen that before.
Well, when you see Tony Stewart put together a chase like he did and win the championship with Hendrick equipment under him, does that give you any sort of pangs that he beat out Jimmy and Jeff and Junior, or is it all just one big happy Hendrick family?
I am proud of Tony Stewart, and I look at it this way. I tell our guys, look, if they can take our equipment and beat our ass.
You can say
You
that.
can say
That's
ass.
This is
That's
internet.
actually the official curse word of Rowdy.
This is internet. You can say whatever you want.
If they take our equipment and beat us, then that's good. The good news is we don't have to go out and say, well, we got to figure out where they're making their power, or we got to figure out what they're doing to their chassis. We know what they're doing. They just beat us. So you got to look inside and step it up. And so I think that's been a good thing for us. Tony and that whole organization have good feedback, and they tell us what they like and what they don't like, and then you got to go out there and race against your stuff. But that's I'm proud of them. That whole organization, Gene Haas and Haas Automation, they've been sponsors here forever. And he decided one day he wanted to own a team, and I said, "What do you want to do that for?" But anyway, I'm proud. I take a lot of satisfaction out of the success that they've had.
Excellent. And last question I want to ask you specifically about Junior and Steve Letarte, because as we watched last year unfold, and I know you were obviously watching it closely, there was a moment at which you just felt like that matter-of-fact manner that Steve has was a great fit for Junior. Did you have that feeling during the beginning part of the year where you said, yes, this was the kind of chemistry I'm looking for, and Junior's confidence is back and he feels like he can overcome the obstacles they all encounter out there?
Steve Letarte is an amazing guy, and you're not going to get him down. I don't care what happens. He's not going to give up. He's not going to get down, and he's not going to get upset. I mean, he may get upset, but he's not going to take it out on the driver. And Junior developed a friendship and a trust with him, and Steve felt the same way about Dale, and they could have won 2 or 3 races, and in this sport that's hard to do. And again, you got to look at where they came from to where they finished, and I think we'll build on that this year, but the confidence is there. Dale's in great shape. He's lost, I think, about 18 pounds. I gained double that.
You guys traded
him to you.
But I look for a great year out of them, and I just feel like that combination. I just wish I had put them together to begin with.
Excellent. All right, Mr. Rick Hendrick, owner of Hendrick Motorsports from Hendrick Motorsports.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.